A look at the top candidates to succeed Hansi Flick as the German national team coach right now, and Julian Nagelsmann's name is at the top of that list, Jan. He seems to divide opinion on how he'd do in this role. Would he be a good fit for you or not?
I think he will be a good fit because he's the only one who is free at the moment, meaning that Bayern have to let him go. He's still on the books. I said the other day what the German candidates for the national coach job have in common with the president campaign in USA is the age. Because there was a time it was Felix Magath, Matthias Sammer, Van Gaal. I mean, then we have an average of 70 years of age of those managers. So I think that Rudi Völler, I guess, would have been the best on a short term. Rudi Völler did that 23 years ago, or 21 years ago, took them to the World Cup final, losing against Brazil with that Ronaldo game with his haircut and his 2 goals. And I think that would have been the safest thing. But Rudi Völler has been very clear, I don't want to do it. He's a sport director. He's doing that sport director role till this summer. So I can see that they will take Julian Nagelsmann, but Rudi Völler will be involved, because I think for a German national coach now, and we saw that against France, that they looked better. I mean, it's funny how things work. They looked good against France.
Because it seemed when he got that Bayern job off the back of Niko Kovac, he galvanised them. He brought the senior guys back in. He got a great mix with the younger and quicker guys, and he got Müller back on board. And yet he just never seemed to be able to do this with his German national team. What was the difference?
I think that is a very good question. I mean, that is a part of the analysis. But I think that Hansi Flick tried then to take a core of Bayern playing with him to more or less make Bayern a national team, but it didn't work. I don't want to blame Hansi Flick for what's going on for Germany. I think this is coming over years. That was Joachim Löw at the end. Terrible results. They were bad at 18 at the last World Cup. There was something about the culture of the German national team. And I think Hansi Flick has been a part of that. He was the assistant to Joachim Löw, and he still didn't manage to change the culture in the national team. Sometimes it's hard to understand those kind of things, but there was something about the German team now since 16 or 17 is just getting the enthusiasm, the energy of the team was just going lower and lower. And I suspect that Hansi Flick, when he was at Bayern, when he had the great players in and around him, he could work with them every day. So it was all about creating that atmosphere, that performance atmosphere. And he didn't have time. He didn't have more or less the players, because he had to mix them with some from outside Bayern to do that. But just to blame the miserable status of German football just on Hansi Flick will be unfair, but it didn't succeed. And now with their home Euros coming up, it was the right decision to fire him and get Rudi in there, and maybe with a young Julian Nagelsmann, who failed then at Bayern and going to have 5 or 6 players from Bayern in his national team, which makes this paradox.
Bring back Bertie Vogts. Is it that bad yet? No. Or is when Bertie got the Scotland job and he came in with that German sense of humour, he went, "Call me Bertie." Did you know this? Call me Bertie McVokes.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.